All right, everyone, welcome to the show that is Pound for Pound, the most power packed punch in podcast media, hitting you hard with spiritual truth that we hope you can handle in hopes that you choose the right eternity for yourself. Getting right into it, man. No stranger to the show, my guest today, Coach Bobby Clark, longtime friend, coach, um, just an awesome dude. But the truth is, we're here today, bro, because I'm just gonna dive in, man. It's okay if that's all right with you.
Yeah.
Just gonna get in, man, because the truth is that you, unbeknownst to me, for a while, it seems like you've been struggling with some things that started to affect your home life, affect your marriage, affect you as an individual. And I'll be honest with you, bro, man. When you come do the shows, the truth shows with us, and everything else, man, you hide it well. You did
Mhm.
it. You hit it well.
Yep. Yep.
Um, Maybe you compartmentalized or whatever the case may be, man. But the floor is yours, bro. It's on you to share your heart, man. What's been going on with you?
It's funny you say because you try, and I think I'm going to speak to a lot of men because I think it's important that the reason why I'm doing this show and coming out like this is because I think a lot of men hold things in like I did, and we have this front or facade that we try to exterior show that we're okay, but on the inside we're really we're like a little boy in some ways. And so when you said, when I'm on the show, I'm trying to represent a, a person that I'm not really living in right at that moment because I'm struggling internally, and I don't know how to I don't know how to internalize it. So I've been dealing with I've had depression at the highest level, and it just caused a a domino effect in my home life. Now, let's break that up a little bit because um, we all have struggles. My struggle was and is, well, my wife and we met um, a little over 10 years ago, and it was she's the love of my life. She's still the love of my life. Everything is great. We we're a blended family, so I had
Mm,
my my youngest daughter, and then she had her four kids, right?
mm,
So what I didn't realize, let me just kind of set the stage here. What I didn't realize is that when you bring a blended family together, you think you have it all figured out and you don't. Okay. You try to be the fixer, you try to do these things. And, um, I've been internalizing a lot of things throughout the years and not realizing that I was really holding a lot of resentment for my wife. And so I would take it out on her, the kids, and just the anger and the depression just would just welt up. And my wife just finally had enough, bro.
mm.
She's like, I'm done. And she said those things before, but then I would go back to my old ways. I said, I'm going to change. I'm going to do that. I know I'm quick to anger, and I'm doing all these things, and I'm getting into the word, and I'm doing all these things, and yet I would still go back to my same ways of just not realizing it, um, not realizing the resentment that I was holding on against her. Didn't hadn't had no idea, which is crazy. So, and again, I started seeking therapy for the first time. I'm a big proponent of, if the first thing you should do is get on your knees and then pray, and then maybe go to a friend or a pastor, and then if you can't do that, then maybe therapy is a good good thing to do. And Um, therapy is not something that I'm a big proponent of, to be honest with you, um, just because I feel like it's just a money grab.
Hmm.
Just being real, like
It can be.
how many?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I reluctantly, at finally, when my wife finally, she's like, I'm done. I gave her. I always would give her ultimatums, not necessarily ultimatums. No, I take that back. I would say, um, I just can't do it anymore, and I would threaten to leave, I would threaten to leave.
Mm,
She never once did that, by the way. And because I just couldn't handle the one-sided um, way. We have fundamental differences in how we raise our kids. And again, coming into a blended family, it's hard raising somebody else's children. I mean, if you are out there and you are a stepfather or a stepdad or a stepmom or something, it is the hardest thing you'll ever do in your life. It really, really is. And I thought I had it all figured out. I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, I'm in the ministry. I'm loving on people. I'm doing all the right things. My wife and I are in love. We're figuring this out, and our communication has been great in the beginning. We were just doing really, really well until having my daughter there. She was going through some things emotionally. Obviously, it was a big change for her. She's what, 15, 16 at the time. It's a lot. I mean, the emotions of that
mm,
is already crazy, right?
yeah.
And and of course, I'm dealing with the small kids, and my wife was loving it because, in all honesty, she didn't have her, nothing against anything, but she never had an alpha man in her life who could just say, "Hey, I'm coming in, and this is the rules. This is how we're going to do it." And then there was application, there was discipline, there was structure. I was that guy for her, so she didn't have to do it alone. She liked that, and it was great. However, um, my daughter was going through some things, and she was part of the blended family. Everything was okay on the surface, but then my daughter started doing some crazy stuff and stupid stuff, and I won't get into that yet. If we need to, we can talk about it. But so one day my wife just flipped, and she says, and this is what happened. She says, "It's me or your daughter."
Mm,
That broke me, bro,
mm,
because I never was faced, or never was that that those words. I was just blown away that it even came out. But I knew that biblically, I'm committed to my wife,
mhm.
and I
That's
had
right.
and that was the hardest decision I had to make. And so when I went to my daughter, I didn't tell her. To this day, if she watches today, she'll find out. But to this day, she didn't know that that was even
That
hap-
happened?
yeah, she had no idea, and she didn't. And I didn't want to ever bring that up. So I went to my daughter and I said, and I never said, I just said, "Hey, you have two choices. You need to completely transform and change your life and get on the right track, or you need to go move back with your mom." And what really, really hurt me, she says, "I want to move back with my mom." And it destroyed me because, you know, prior to that, I lost both of my sons. And I was like, I'm losing my children, right? I'm just losing my kids. And the guilt, bro, like the guilt that I was under losing my third child, like, oh my God, it was just devastating. But I, I knew that I was doing the right thing in God's eyes because I know that my wife was number one. And I knew that I had no choice. Now, let me just set this part. My wife and I have since talked about it, and we had a breakthrough, and it's been awesome. And and we both now have we both are in such a great place right now. But just wanted to kind of set the stage there too.
Mm,
So what I didn't realize is, in that moment, I held on to so much anger for my wife, asking me to giving me that ultimatum, and ultimately losing my daughter for a short time. It broke me. It broke me in so many ways because what I didn't realize is that I was holding on to the loss of my two sons. Not that they're still alive. Just
okay.
not,
I was gonna ask,
yeah,
what do you mean by losing them?
yeah. Like they've they don't want anything to do with me for the most part, and I've tried many, many times. So can you imagine, as a father, somebody who just, you try so hard and you'd fail so many times. So all of this is being built up, and a constant reminder in my head of, you're useless, you're a failure, you can't, your kids don't love you, your wife is, I'm just angry. So what I would end up doing, not realizing it, is I started taking out on her kids because of, again, our fundamental differences how we raised our children. She's more of a laid back, chill person, which is great. It's a good combination for both of us. But when we're raising kids, it really, we started doing this.
Hmm.
But what I found, and again, going through therapy has been just so enlightening because I had an aha moment. I would say a breakthrough because I was, I even told you, you called me, I called you, bro, and I'm like, you're like, get here now, come to Miami or come to West Palm, and let's just love on you, right? Let's just break away. And I'm like, I got to fight for my marriage. I got to fight. And so I ended up getting therapy. I'm still going through therapy, and but the aha moment that happened was, so what I didn't realize during this time of when she was giving me the ultimatum, she was also going through some things with her life, right? Her 4 children. And she made a decision that I really didn't ever want this to come back on me, but ultimately it did. So she made the decision to to take 2 of her kids and send them to Ohio with their dad. Now, and this was about the same time as the ultimatum started happening. And so it was, at the time, and when she told me that, I said, listen, I told her, I said, I don't want this to ever come back to me because I think it's a bad idea because I think we should try to figure out a way to make this work. But she made the ultimate sacrifice because she knew that she could not be at all places at all times with 4 kids doing 4 different activities, being there. It was hard, when you're, so she made the ultimate sacrifice to let 2 of her children go to live with her dad in Ohio, where she now won't see them in but maybe the summers and a couple times in the year. And so, but when she told me that and went through that, I wanted to make sure I don't want any blame. This is not on me, whatever. And ultimately, she did it for me, you know? And so when again, all of this started, this is all in the early stages of our marriage, right? So I'm sitting here like I'm having to go back. I'm feeling all this resentment. I'm blowing up. Everything's just really just not doing well. And I'm trying to get in the word. I'm trying to be a good Christian. I'm trying to do all these things. Yet I'm realizing that I'm not dealing with this past that I somehow I'm holding on to. This anger, this resentment. And it was tough. So my wife and I, just 2 weeks ago, bro. Yeah, I'd say 2 weeks ago, I sat her down and I shared with her my heart and how I needed forgiveness because I told her I have a lot of anger and resentment toward her, and that was hard to do, bro.
Hmm.
Because um, it's so much easier to just kind of sweep it under the rug. It's so much easier, but really, I wasn't. I was lashing out in so many ways
I was
all
about
the
to say, it
time.
don't stay under the rug, man.
No,
You know what I mean? It does not stay under the rug. It
it doesn't.
manifests in your daily speech, in your daily
It does.
actions, right? I mean, it presents itself. You put it under the rug,
Hmm.
and it just says, "Ha ha, I'm out." It
Yep,
doesn't stay.
100%. Yeah. So yeah, we ended up. I shared with her, and there was a lot of tears shed that day in a patio Tex-Mex middle of the day. It was. I told her. I said. Well, it was funny because she was asking me. She's like, "Something's. Are you okay?" I said, "Well, there's something that I really need to get off my chest, but I don't know when the right time is." She goes, "Now." I'm like,
Mm,
"Ugh."
right. You
There's
knew
no
that
better
was
time.
coming, man. Come on.
Yeah, there's no better time like now. It's of course, yes, you're right. And I actually was hoping that because I really just didn't know what to do and when to do it and how to say it and all the things. But what the aha moment was before I went started talking to her, and which is what I was sharing with her, was so when she gave up her two two children, her 2 middle boys, we kept the oldest son and the youngest daughter. And in 2020, now we're going to fast forward 5, 6 years into our marriage. Life is good. Things were good. We were having no issues. I mean, on vacations, and I'm I'm doing. We're doing really well financially. Everything is just really, really good. Until our vacation in Florida, and I would probably now say that it was a great vacation, but it was a vacation from hell, because on that same vacation, I lost all of my realtor referrals. So my business completely got dismantled. And my wife gets a call from her oldest son when he's on his summer vacation with his dad and says, "Mom, I'm not coming back home."
Mhm.
So I am internalizing, going, we just have one child now. Yay. Right. And I'm not thinking of my wife's pain, that she gave up two children, and now her third oldest, her baby boy, is now going to be living with her dad. And of course, I knew she would be upset, but I was like, just, and I look back at, and I wasn't arrogant about it. I was very sympathetic about it, and but I think deep down inside, I was like, yeah, we just have our little girl now. My daughter's now grown, and she's married and off and doing her thing, and we just have this little girl who's great, and we love her, and we could just pour into her, and life is good, right?
Mhm.
Well, I was so selfish in thinking that it was all about me and the resentment that I had towards her. I was just not thinking of what she went through, right? And so when she had a chance to bring one of her other sons home, which was the one of the middle ones that we had let go, they were having trouble with him, and they called us, and they called me specifically, because they knew I'm the disciplinarian. They knew that I am the guy that's going to be structured. I'm going to give them structure. I'm not going to let go. I'm going to be this guy, and we're going to get this right. And the dad's like, "Hey, the dad and the stepmom are like, we need your all's help. Like, let's go. Let's bring him home, right? We've got this." I'm excited to kind of get this kid back on track and pour into him and love on him and do all the things. And then, if the first 6 months, maybe even a year, was pretty good, because I was able to put structure in him, and then all of a sudden, uh, there was a shift, and it just became whatever I said, she would do the opposite. She would, like, "No, you don't have to do that." And I just started getting that resentment started coming back up from the time when my wife told me, when my daughter was having struggles and doing the thing, she gave me an ultimatum. Yet we're have a struggle bus with this one, and I'm like going, "What's up?" Like, "Hey, it's the same thing." And I would tell her, like, "Listen, I mean, there's there's some there's some similarities here that we dealt with Savannah." Oh, sorry, it doesn't matter, with Savannah. And now we're dealing with this with him, and you're doing what I did with my daughter. I was real lax with her, and I admitted it. It was me that caused, like, didn't I let my daughter do whatever she wanted, because I didn't want to lose her. And I think now, looking back, she was doing the same thing, because she had lost not one but two but three, and then now she got one back, and she's holding on for dear life.
Mhm.
And I'm going, I'm not realizing this at the time, bro. I'm not realizing this. So when and I'm going to tell you something, man. This was You don't realize the impact you have with children, especially stepchildren, because I was hard on him, and I am still kind of pretty hard on him, but there was a shift, and I'll share this shift with you as well. And I think it's important, because I was so angry with her that I would take it out on him, and not physically, just I
Yeah.
wasn't just I was probably, I would say, abusive in my words, because I was just angry. Everything he said, I was just mad. And and so when she finally had it, like, she's done. Like I finally said, I'm done. She goes, "Go, bye." Like, "Go." Like, I'm done. I'm done. Like, I'm done of you saying you're done, and I'm done, right? And I'm going, oh, like that kind of freaked me out, right? I'm being all this big bad boy, and like I'm waiting for her to say, no, no, don't leave. We'll make it work, right? No, she didn't do that.
Mm.
And that made me more angry because I was like, dang, she's choosing her son over me, and yet I,
Chose her.
I yeah. And I'm going, what the bleep, you know?
Hmm.
And I'm just like just so angry and just like done. And so we sat the kids down and told them that I'm leaving. And
You actually had the conversation.
yes, we did. We sat them
You really
down.
sat the two kids down and said, "Hey, that Bobby's leaving."
Yeah,
Really?
really. Yep. It was it. That was it. I was done. She was done. There was no fighting. Um, but the most miraculous thing happened because my thoughts were when I sat them down, they were going to be excited, or at least one of them, the boy, was going to be excited. I knew. I mean, I've raised Vivian since she was 3, so I knew that was going to be tough for her. But I also, part of me didn't realize that. Well, let me just get to it here in a second. So, um, when I said, hey, I'm leaving, I'm moving out, and I'm not staying in Texas. Like, I'm not going to stay here and be a part of this. I'm going to move back to Florida. That's where I was going.
Hmm.
I was actually going to buy a one-way ticket, like no joke. I'm packing my bags. My bags are pretty much packed, and again, I'm thinking in the back of my mind, like my son is going to be excited because now he's got free for all. Like
Me and
now,
stepdad's gonna be out,
oh, bro,
right?
it's gonna be
Just me and
I
mom's. It's gonna
yep,
be good to go. We
a
gonna have
hun-
some fun.
100%. And what came out of his mouth changed my heart
Hmm. What do you say?
completely. And here's what happened. He got up. We were all sitting down. He got up and he came over to me and just held me in my arms
Hmm.
and said how much he loved me and said we need to pray right now because
Wow.
this is the lie of the enemy and I love you. I don't want to lose you. And he
Whew.
began to pray, bro, over me out
Hmm.
loud. and
Hmm.
and I felt his heart. I didn't realize was that he actually loved me. I didn't even realize it. So he's sitting here praying over me, and I'm sitting here just like receiving this prayer over somebody who I was praying over and being the spiritual leader. And then all of a sudden I became the opposite. And he stood up and just prayed over me and just said, I can't lose you.
Hmm.
I'll do whatever. He's like, I'll do whatever it takes. And then of course Vivian, she started praying. Vivian's a fixer. Vivian's like, I'm going into she started praying. So these kids are praying over both Brandy and myself, bro.
Hmm.
I've it was it was at that time I was still leaving, and there was some begging going on, bro, like
Oh.
begging going on. And I looked at Brandy's face and she was crying, but she was still done. And I saw her face like there was no fight in her anymore. And I was going like I but then all of a sudden that shift in my heart, which I thought he actually didn't care for me. I thought he
Hmm.
just didn't. I thought him and I were just like it was just everything that I would tell him to do. It was just like he's so disrespectful and so the things. And then I got to feel his heart, and that softened my heart, and that made me want to fight for my marriage.
Hmm.
Made me want to fight, and so that shifted. That shift was so and I just thank God because the Bible says to raise up a child in the way that they should go, and when they get old, they won't depart from you. And we pray, and we're not the perfect family. We're not a Brady Bunch, but what we are is we are God fearing, and I at least instilled that in them, and I'm so thankful for that because if I didn't, then I don't know what would have happened. And this is not about me, me, me. This is about God, God, God. And so I so then I so that all happened. I went and says, I'm gonna go get help. I'm gonna go get help. You called me, you said, come here, let me help you, let's do this. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna stay here, planted my feet, and I'm gonna go get therapy and I'm gonna go do all the things. And I did, and I have, and I am, and I'm in it. I'm in it right now. And things have just miraculously been so much better. Do we have bad days? Yes. But you know what? My wife saw a change in all of this, and we are such a closer knit family. And so um
You didn't expect that, did you?
no, no,
No.
I'll pause because there's I'll go into the conversation that Brandy and I had, but it's so yeah, that's it's a
Yeah.
lot.
Man, it seems like when it comes from a kid that it can be so much more powerful because you don't expect that kind of maturity,
Mm-mm.
right? You don't expect you don't expect that at all. And it was I was honestly I was a little surprised when I was like, okay, well, bro, I'm your friend. You need to get away. Come get away. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
It doesn't mean you're going to leave your marriage.
right.
It doesn't, just come take a break for a week.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the truth is, you can't compare that with how God used the kid to reach you.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? You can't compare that because that was God intervening, saying, "No, your marriage is not over.
yeah.
No, I don't condone this. This is not what you're supposed to do."
Hmm.
That's wow, bro.
I mean, out of the Bible, out of the mouth of babes, right? I
Mm,
mean, out of the mouth of babes, come to me as a child. And honestly, sometimes we get over spiritualizing
yep.
everything that we just
We don't
we
get
don't
real,
even.
man.
Yeah.
We don't get
eh,
real.
No, and that as a man who's alpha, very strong-willed, set in his ways, got so humbled in such a honestly just a masculine way. It wasn't like a pansy way. I got humbled in a way that I've never been humbled before
Mm,
by a child.
yeah, 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 dude.
And I think the lesson here, and again, for anybody who's listening, the lesson is that your children are watching everything that we do.
They're
Our
watching.
children,
They're listening.
yes,
They're emulating.
yes, emulating everything. And so, you gotta care. Like, I know I'm a jokester. He's a jokester. We joke around, but sometimes even in the joking moments could be very daggering. There's some spear in there.
Mm,
There's some cuts, tiny
yeah,
cuts,
yeah, yeah.
even in the joking. You got to be careful with that. And I've since we still have fun. We like to laugh. We're a fun family, but I'm very cautious on my words now because I didn't realize the true impact that I had in his life.
Clearly,
Yeah. And so I just want to encourage anybody out there that think that they don't matter, and they do. Your kids are listening to you every
yeah.
step of the way.
Always remember, like, bro. There are people that are more in tune to Big Brother listening to them than they are to their kids listening to them.
Oh, without a shadow. Yeah.
So step back a little bit, man. Where did because we where did all this buildup of resentment come from, man? Like, have you figured that out? I mean, because that's
Mhm.
you gotta go back to the origin of it.
Yeah. No, yeah, and I'm peeling back the
The layers,
proverbial,
yeah,
yeah, onions, if
yeah.
you will, because what I've never had is I've never, you know, coming from I'm a fitness coach. I'm a kingdom building coach. I've poured into you, right? Like I've spiritually poured into you, right? I've poured into so many people, and yet I, as and I would, as a personal trainer. Listen, you and I both know as personal trainers, we're a therapist, right? So there's so many people that we're
More like
giving
babysitting, but
that too. Yeah. But we're
but
also like we're always giving advice and never receiving it or never even asking for it.
right.
And so in my therapy, we're going back pretty deep, which is something I didn't realize that it really goes way back, and you don't realize how much of it starts coming out,
Mm,
and how much that you were really just, it goes back to my, I'll be honest with you, you and I, we go way back, but one of my really strong best friends growing up since what, fifth grade,
mm,
okay, I moved to Texas because of this guy, and we were like, wherever there's a Bobby, there was a X. Wherever there's a Bobby, there was an X. Wherever the X, there's a Bobby. There was always that.
mm,
And when I went through my second divorce, oh shocker, um, I that we went separate ways, and it devastated me, to be honest with you. And I ever since have never let anybody else in. And um, anybody close to me, I don't let anybody in. I don't. I'm very guarded because losing a best friend who was your best man at your wedding. It was also somebody that you, I mean, knows more than anybody else about everything, right? I mean, knows more than your wife I mean, knows everything, right? That's the one person that best friend that you have that you go to the grave with. And when we stopped talking about right when I met Brandy about 10 years ago, that's when I just got, from that time and the time that my wife said what she said about the ultimatum for my daughter, those two were catastrophic for me because my life just shifted. I became now, and the way I looked at it and the way I am, what I'm going through is I'm just now I'm a I'm a pod in this life of Brandy's world now, and I don't want anybody to come in. I won't get close to anybody. I still, to this day, I don't get close. I don't like crowds anymore. I don't like to be around people. I'm a very small knit person. If people want to come here, that's fine. I just do not like. I can't. I'm very guarded, and I think that really shifted the resentment, the anger, and then especially when your best friend stops talking to you and you don't have resolution. Still to this day, and you've tried to ask for forgiveness in whatever I did wrong, right? And yet you don't know what you did wrong. You have ideas, and that's still out in the atmosphere, and I'm still like, so think about that. I'm dealing with that. I'm dealing with all the past of my sons that I failed, my jobs that I failed, my wife's that I failed, all the failure. I mean, failure upon failure of all the things that I caused. That takes a toll on you. It finally goes. And again, I try so hard, and that's why I try to stay in the Word and say, and listen. If I didn't have God, if I didn't have the love of Jesus in my heart, I think I would probably lose my mind, right? Because of all the things that I put myself through. Now, I say all of that. I'm in such an amazing peace in my life right now. Still working on some things, but I wanted to make sure that the solid foundation of my family was fixed or getting fixed, and we're getting there, and thank God for that. I've got some other things I got to deal with, just like we all do, but I think you're having me on here to share this because somebody I know is going through this too, right? Like there's somebody out there that's internalizing and doing all the things, and I don't have the answers. I'm still going through it. But what I do know is that sometimes we just need to get help, and sometimes we just need to ask, and sometimes we just need to confide. And so that's where I'm at now, bro.
well, that's great, man. I mean, I'm glad you're at peace and everything else. I don't want to talk about peace, man. I want to talk about the drama.
Let's
Let's go.
go.
Let's go back. No, I'm just kidding. So okay, so it sounds like one day this long time friend of yours that just all of a sudden decided to bounce,
Yeah.
and you're not friends no more, and you haven't heard from him since, and right. I mean, it's just there was just that separation,
Yeah.
and you don't you to this day you don't really know what she did, right?
Mm.
You've tried to reach out, no response, right?
Yep. Yep.
I don't know, man. Is it? I mean, after a while, I can see that making you angry,
Yeah.
right? I could see that
Yeah.
pissing you off after a while. What the hell did I do, man? Like I
Yeah.
thought we were boys for all these years since we were kids,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden now you just bounce, right? No, I mean that could piss you off if you keep thinking about it for a while. But I mean, obviously there's resentment towards that person,
I don't
possibly
know. I wouldn't say resentment. I say
anger.
uh, hurt. Honestly, in all
Sure,
reality,
yeah,
hurt. Like it's like it was as I mean. Again, we were inseparable. We were. You couldn't go anywhere without seeing both of us. It's just what it was, and um, that's painful because he was my brother. He was my best friend, my cousin. Him. We were the three amigos. And when my cousin died with cancer at an early age, and then there was just something, and I don't think it's that. I know it's not that. There was something. I know it's something that I did. I know there is. I just wish I knew what it was, so I can. I mean, I can't go back and change anything, right? But
mm,
what I could do is, at the very least, own it. I'm willing to own whatever I did
mhm,
because it's not worth for him. And I just actually, it's crazy. I talked to my brother today, he still talks to
mm,
everybody around him. It's also he's also my daughter's godfather.
mm,
So my daughter's involved, like everybody is except for me. Yes, he was at my daughter's wedding. I saw him for a couple minutes, had a very, very dry
mm,
conversation. But other than that, I went to I met him at a funeral too once in a while, and I'm probably going to be the next time somebody happens. That's the only time we're going to ever see each other is at funerals and weddings. That's it, because we have a close knit family around us. Like we had no choice.
yeah.
But it's sad. It's painful. It's hurtful.
Have you forgiven him for
Oh,
that?
100%. Like I hold no ill will towards him. Even if he did something to me, I would not hold it. I learned a long time ago that the one thing that I'm probably really good at now, I say that it's a twofold. I don't hold anything in. I'm done. Like if I forgive you, but then I'm done. But I'll let you know, right? I won't just. But when I'm done, I'm done, and I am done. Like, and maybe that's where he's at. But he didn't have a conversation with me, which it does bother me. But um, you know,
Sure, sure.
so it's been 10 plus years of a friendship of over 20, almost 30 something years. So it's kind of rough. And you know what? I pray, just like my sons, I pray one day that here on earth, that there's some resolution before I die or before we meet in heaven. Because man, I just don't want to hold on to that. And I'm sure I'm not the only one and I really think that maybe doing this podcast and sharing my story could help somebody else, you know?
Yeah, so it's like, I mean, as an outsider looking in, man, what I see is that you have to pinpoint the resentment and the anger and where it comes from so that you can recognize it again if it
Yeah.
ever rears its ugly head, right? I mean,
Oh,
if you
for
had to
sure.
guess, aside from that, I mean, that's hurtful, right?
Yeah.
Um, but if you had to guess, I mean, where did this? How did you get to a place from being the guy that I knew at the gym who was social
Hmm.
and, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying, like really
Oh, yeah.
outgoing, really social, funny, you know, all those things, to sitting on the couch telling your kids you're leaving?
Yeah, bro. That is, and what's crazy is because, when I think first year or two of our marriage, I was still that guy with Brandy, but she saw the decline And I didn't realize it was actually happening, to be honest with
Mm-hmm.
you.
Yep.
Part of it, I think, was, when I was diagnosed with cardiomyopathy and then I had my stroke and all the things that happened to me physically, I think brought me even a more of a shell. Like 3 years ago, when I suffered my stroke and my heart failure, that was the probably the final like dagger in the
Yeah.
proverbial heart, no pun intended.
Mm.
That was like I'm just I'm done. Right? I'm like I can do no more. I'm now fighting for my life, and I don't want anything to do with anybody. Now, with in saying that, I had such and of course you came out. I mean, God, I love you, bro. You and Gina you mean the world to me, and I'll tell you that. And I had an outpouring of people when I was in the hospital, and I didn't realize this. And you don't realize the impact that you do have on people, and because they don't, and you don't need to tell you, but for whatever reason, I had a lot of people come to me and said how much I impacted their lives one way or the other, and that was tough to hear because you realize you don't I didn't feel like I mattered, because I've all my failures, right? And I'm like, I, if my sons don't want anything to do with me, and my best friend doesn't want anything to do with me, who knows me, and now my wife is kicking me to the curb, like
Mm.
I'm like everything else is just chatter. Like I didn't, and so and I know it's the enemy, right? So obviously I know this is Satan, but there's still some there's still some truth into some of these things, right? And you got to be careful with that. And so I was it's been a journey. Now I will say I'm doing really good. We're actually going to do a patio. Uh, we're going to go out and do my wife's like, "Hey, I want to have a couple drinks on the patio." I'm like, "Done. Well, let's do Saturday. I don't drink, but I'll go with you." so
Yeah.
so yep. So I'm getting there, man. But
So
yeah, you're right.
yes, things are better. So I obviously that's great to hear because I just, you know, I did not want to see you guys
Mm-mm.
split. Um, I just I was struggling. I'll be candid with you. I was struggling to find a reason for it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like another guy that I kind of work with, like he came and told me that, and I'm not going to say his name or anything, but
Yeah. Yeah.
um, he came and told me that he and his wife are probably getting divorced and blah blah blah. And so I said, okay, well, thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, well, I can't just sit here and say, oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry to hear that, and just move on with my day.
Right.
Like they got kids,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying? Like he says he's a Christian,
Yep.
I am, and I could not sit there and just like everybody else would do and say, oh, I'm sorry to hear that, bro. Let me know if you need anything.
Yep.
Like that's like hanging him over the ledge, in my opinion. You know.
Yeah.
So I
Almost
started
pushing.
asking him questions.
Hmm.
I'm trying to find out why.
Right.
Like, what is the reason for this potential divorce? What is really going on?
Hmm.
And again, I don't want to give it away, but I'll be honest. It was the dumbest, some of the dumbest things I've ever heard.
Yeah.
And I said to him, I said, "Look, man," and I felt led to kind of get in his face,
Yeah. Good.
and I just said, "Look, man, I'm just going to tell you how I feel because I haven't heard anything here that warrants a divorce.
Yeah.
You haven't given me a good enough reason for you guys to split. Nothing that can't be worked out. This is really I kind of had to shine the light on him because he was being, I mean, very overly old school, cult there. He's, I don't want to say where he's from again. I don't want him to put him together, but cultured, and in the culture they do this and men do this and they act this
Mm.
way and blah blah blah, and they're very strict and they want things this way and it's blah blah blah. And I said, bro, look, you have not given me a good enough reason to leave her.
Right.
That doesn't I haven't heard any of it. So I think I think sometimes people just want validation, right? They want to know they're doing the right thing. And he didn't get that from me.
Yep.
I just said, you're not doing the right thing in so many words.
Well, and
You know what I mean?
I also think though too is that that person or we as men, honestly, we're not being as honest as we say that we are. We sometimes just want to give you enough to just
To feel for you.
with that and to find some validation in that. But really, what's internalizing again back
Right.
into the internalizing, they're not sharing that.
That's
And
right.
no one does because that's a vulnerability that no man wants to open up, especially
Well,
to another man.
I mean, that could, because you could be wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
You know
You
what I'm
don't want to
saying?
open that up. Yeah, you 100%.
I
And
mean,
I think that's the place where I'm at. Like I don't care about being wrong anymore.
that's right.
I don't care about I care about number one, me getting my life right. Because here's the thing. I've been in captivity with dealing with this resentment and all the hurt and pain. I am in captivity. Everybody else is about their business, right? Like they maybe they know or they don't know. That's not up to me. But what I've had to deal with for the last X years, oh my gosh, is miserable. Like I have shining moments and maybe mostly fake, but I'm not really happy. I don't
Mm.
have joy. I'm just surviving. I'm in survival mode and it's not the way to live life. And man, it is freeing to be honest, to be vulnerable, and to just like, you know what? I'm not perfect. I've made a lot of mistakes. I got to work on those mistakes. But I'm also not letting those mistakes and that past hold me hostage anymore. I'm not, and I can't. It still hurts, but I'm dealing with it completely different now. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, that can finally crossing that line can give you peace.
Man,
You know what I'm saying? It can really give you peace if you're not having that pull you. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
I'm sorry to hear like I'm sorry to hear about your kids, man. I think I hope that between the friend and the kids that that you've been able to fully surrender that
hmm
to him.
yeah,
I hope you have, because that's going to eat you. If
yeah.
I'm sure it used to, maybe it still does, but
I
then
mean,
some true authentic surrender that still needs to take place, from what I
yeah,
can
yeah,
see. I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah. Part of is a it's a lot. The one thing I will say is it's not my sons. They take my call. They'll text me. We'll go back and forth, but it's not a hey, I want to come see you or anything like that.
Just cordial, huh?
Yeah, very cordial. Yeah, that's a great word for it. Very cordial. And part of it could be me, and I don't want to push myself on anybody, right? I don't want, and maybe I needed to do a little bit more, and maybe that's what they needed, and that's where I maybe needed, and that's what I'm working with my therapist right now.
Yeah,
so
man.
maybe I'm, yeah, I don't know. I'm working on that, but maybe they need to feel and that's one thing we talked about. Maybe they need to feel that I'm thinking of them and I'm pursuing them, you know?
Yeah. Here, as you were speaking, man, to be candid with you, like mhm, as I think as men, we will kind of, in those particular situations, we will take the path of least resistance.
Yeah.
We'll do just enough to say we did it,
Yep.
just to say
100%.
I tried.
Yep.
We
So
didn't. We don't
so
really.
right.
We don't really try.
No,
So
you're right.
if we do that, our wives would say what? Keep trying,
Yep.
keep pushing,
Yep.
right? Bro, you've given me the analogy before. I'm going to throw it back at you. In those scenarios, bro, you got to keep planting seeds.
Yeah.
Just no, don't expect responses. Don't
Right.
Nothing for you. Just and it ain't gonna be that hard. You just every week, every other week,
Yeah.
send a text,
Right.
how you feel. Hey, I hope your life is going well. I hope whatever their wife's name or whatever, whoever their son's name, whoever you comes to mind at the time. I hope
Yeah.
JoJo's doing well. I don't know who JoJo is, but you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying. But I hope JoJo's doing. I hope you and JoJo doing well. Just know that I love you. I'm here if you need me. Just quick and dirty.
Yeah.
Like throw the heart out a little bit more, but stay consistent.
Yeah. That is. Yep. That is. You hit it on the head. I think because part of it is I, s- I do enough to say I did enough.
Hmm. That's right.
Yep. And I think we all do that to an extent. And I think it's
Hmm.
important to, but our kids need to be pursued too, because I know my brother has my half brother has some issues with his dad, and I mean, man, it's sad because it's amazing when in watching him go through his dad not loving him the way not pursuing him. It's crazy, and it's so painful and watching it because my little brother is in pain, and all he wants is his dad to say he loves him and he wants to see him, and I'm sitting here going, well, I tried.
Mm,
I made the try.
mm,
I put the text out. I offered to pay for them to come fly out to me. I put it out there, and now I'm going, did you try enough? Right? And I don't think I did. In
mm.
all reality, I
Well,
don't think
here's
I
the
did.
truth, bro. Here's the thing. You're still alive. They're still alive.
Hmm.
You still have opportunity.
Yep.
And as you were saying that, I was like saying the same thing, bro. It's like well, I mean, do they live close to you?
No, they're all in Chicago up north.
Oh, I see. Okay. I was gonna
Yeah.
say, could you invite them to dinner?
Oh,
Yeah.
that would have. If they were close, I don't think we would have these issues. But
Okay.
it does. It is tough. I will say my oldest son, he was in the Air Force and he was stationed here in Texas. We would see each other a lot.
Okay.
And then when he moved back, distance, time, life. I mean, it just got away from us. But my
Sure.
middle son, which is, um, that's another it's another story that just is so painful. But I did try, ask for forgiveness, but he went through a lot with his mom, and it's just been tough for him too. So,
Mm.
but
Yeah,
yeah,
dude. Like he's it sounds I don't know all the details, but it sounds like he's struggling with forgiveness himself.
yeah, because he's got a
Forgiving
sweet
you.
yeah, he's got a sweetheart. He does. He's like he's actually in a lot of ways a lot like me, but so I know how he thinks. And but he has got a this kid has got such a heart, and I know he probably is dealing with some internalizing some things too.
Hmm.
But yeah,
So you know, I think I'll be honest with you, man. Um, I fall sometimes to this spirit of anger
hmm,
that is very real.
oh
Like
yeah,
is very real, and it is of the devil.
hmm,
It is demonic, and I say I find myself catching myself in that, but the truth is that the wife catches me in that
yeah,
sometimes.
yeah.
You know what
They're
I'm
the
saying?
best at it. They
Uh,
know us. They know we can't hide anything from them.
right. So so then when she calls me out for being angry over the dumbest things, over the
Yeah.
smallest
Yep.
annoyances that should just roll off my back, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
She tells me, "Why are you so angry about this stupid little thing?" And then guess what I do?
Get angry more.
I get angry at her for
Yeah.
telling
Exactly.
me
Yeah.
for
Yeah. Well,
being
I know
angry.
the cycle.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm I am trying and making a conscious effort to have God helped me with letting the stuff just roll off. It really is so trivial, bro. The stuff we get angry about is so trivial, so does not matter,
It really doesn't.
and just robs you of your peace for however long you allow it.
Bro, I couldn't have said it any better because that has been my last X years of life. Like it's like it, whether it's not making your bed to leaving a cup out, it doesn't matter, but to me it does. It's a big
Mm,
deal.
mm,
I mean, it's just stupid, right? But it's the little things that I love my wife because she is like the opposite of that with me. And so I think that bothers me more because
right,
I'm like, seriously, that doesn't bother you at all? Like
right.
nothing? She's like, no, doesn't. She's like, no. I'm going, "Oh, that angers me. That angers me because it doesn't bother you like it
Yeah,
bothers me. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, bro. You know what you got to do though, man, because I when people have asked me, I don't know why I'm an example. I mean, I'm no, I'm not. Yeah. But anyway, so when people have actually asked me how we have such a good marriage and why we're so happy and this and the other, and there will always be little things, bro, that
Yeah,
people don't like about the other person, or their little habits, or their little, whatever. You know what I'm saying? There's always going to be something that annoys you or bugs you. Always
right.
forget about it. But in my opinion, like what what will enhance your marriage is that acceptance of those
Mhm.
things,
Yeah.
right? I don't care if you can do it on your own,
Hmm.
or if you have to ask the Lord for to help you with acceptance of the things you cannot change,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That will strengthen your marriage overnight if you can just
Yeah.
let it go,
100%.
right?
And I would even add on to that, I would almost pray for us to have some of the same characteristics that they have, so you're almost even more equally yoked versus just letting it. Because I would love to have that kind of. I think you and Brenny are a lot alike when it comes to certain things, but man, just chill. Like it's just like, yeah, no big deal. Like you're
Yeah,
that way. You're like this. You're like, no big deal.
right,
And I'm like, yeah, it's kind of a big deal. And yet she's like, no, it's really not. And I'm like, okay, I'm not bred that way, but I would love to. Like I would love to be that way. So I'm getting better at that. And um before I would just like it just would stir in me now. I'm just like, yeah, okay, no big deal. It is what it is. Right?
right, right, right. And again, you mentioned about like someone leaving a cup on the counter or something, right?
Yeah,
Right. So if you if you really just stop and think about it for a second, is that going to alter your life?
exactly.
Right?
Yeah,
Is that really that one little thing sitting there? Is that going to be the cause of your
yeah,
whole day to
right.
just take a freaking nosedive and cause a
Yeah.
fight with your wife? Right? If you play it out in your mind,
Oh
if you
yeah,
play out the next steps and the reactions, you should quickly come to the conclusion that probably not
yeah,
worth it.
right. Yep. Part of it too is could be how you were raised and all the things.
All
Because
of it,
I'll tell
man.
you, it's crazy because I became my dad when it comes to certain things that I thought when he would get on to me, it was not a big deal. And he would like, you left the lights on, or you left the X out, or you did this. I'm like, it's not a big deal. Like, what is the big deal? Like, I'll get it later, right?
Mm,
And there again, there's I'm not taking away like still need to have structure and still need to be disciplined and there still needs to be all those things, but it shouldn't, like you just said, rob your
that's right.
joy and rob you from that just dominoing all the way down to where it's
That's
like
right.
it ruins the entire environment around you. And it
Yep.
has because I've allowed it instead of, you know, still saying it, but then going, okay, I'm done. Like move on. Right.
Yep.
And
Yeah, and
it's,
and I say this as a reminder to myself as well, because
mhm.
anger really is the joy robber,
Oof.
right?
Yep. Yep.
Let that marinate in your head first. That because if you're angry, you're not joyful. If you're angry, you're not at peace.
Yep.
If
Never.
you're angry, you're making someone else angry.
Yep. Yep. And you do it. Whether you are even physically, even in internalizing your anger, like you're
Oh,
not, maybe
dude.
you may, people feel it. It is a very, like you said earlier,
Yeah.
it's a spiritual, like people can feel it all over you, and they don't even have to be spiritual, which is
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
crazy.
Absolutely. So getting onto that side, man, I want to turn the bus around for a second. Um, so when you come on the show every other Saturday with us, we've talked about we talk about some of the same things a lot because it first of all it just happens that way.
Yeah.
But another thing is that you know we talk about how we as Christians don't always act as such,
Yeah.
right? And whenever I hear something like that, I always kind of self analyze because I want to ensure that I'm not in that sandbox,
Hmm.
that I'm not being one of those people.
Yeah.
Um,
Frauds.
hey, man, call it what you will, keep it real.
Hmm. Yep.
But you said earlier that you would do all the things.
Hmm.
You'd be in prayer and you do all the you do all the Christian things,
Yeah.
right?
Check all the box
Check
checks.
all the boxes and everything else. Why didn't that work for you?
Yep. So that was actually, it's not even that complex of an answer. It's a
Okay.
simple answer. If you can't surrender the things that you know that are holding you back, whether it's unforgiveness, whether it's anger, whether it's honestly, it's really the shift for me during this whole journey, and all the going back to everything, was forgiving myself. Holding, I'm very hard on myself. I'm hard on a lot of people because you know me by now. I'm an extremist. I'm hard on everything, and I'm an all or nothing type of person. And when I go all in, I'm hard. I'm hard on myself. I'm hard on everybody around me because I have a high expectations. But my goodness, I'm probably harder on myself than I am anybody else, and which is not sometimes a fun place to be. So having that unforgiveness will destroy you. And to me, I've been living a double life because I know what to do biblically. And we always talk about on our podcast, application, right? You know what to do, and then there's the application. But yet you don't necessarily, I'll be honest, I don't think that I wanted to be released from that because I felt that I deserved the pain that I've been going through.
Mm,
So I did not want to forgive myself because I deserve it. I think we do that as men,
mm,
especially with our past. When I got my stroke and heart failure, the first thing that I said was, "I deserve this. I created this. No, I don't blame anybody else but me. Everything that I do, I'll never. I'm not a point finger. Like I have fun and I like to make fun of people, but in all reality, I will always own to the extreme everything. And I've held myself in such a, I would just I can't forgive myself, and so I deserve it. And my goodness, if you if and I listen, I it's as if Christ died for nothing, right? Like think about that. I am not, he died for all of our sins, past, present, future, right? And yet I'm still holding that in hostage, and so that becomes what he did in vain, right? And I'm like, what am I doing? Yet I still can't let go. I still can't let go. And it took a 15-year-old boy. I mean, go back to that moment, that 15-year-old boy,
Mm.
to show me what true love from our Father looked like and felt like. And that, it's not even my blood, y'all. It's not even my blood. And man, did that ever change the landscape of my heart. And that's, to your question, long answer long. You have to
Oh, it
forgive.
wasn't that complex of an answer.
Yeah, you knew the answer, but I like to, I blab. So there you go.
Just, I'll caution you about something you already know.
Hmm.
So, and again, I believe I was just given this, but unforgiveness is unforgiveness, even if it's towards yourself.
Hmm.
And you know, bro, you know the road of where unforgiveness leads.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you got to get past that, man. You gotta.
Oh,
If you haven't already, you
oh,
got to.
I'm beyond past that.
Okay.
Like I'm, again, I am, I am free. I can breathe again, which is crazy. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't even know, bro, but even my cardiovascular, and of course we all know that I'm still getting strengthened in my heart and
Mm-hmm.
been doing amazing, and the testimony is coming 100%. But you know it's crazy is that sometimes the reason why we can't be healed is because we can't forgive ourselves.
That's right. That's right, bro. There, I just heard something earlier today when I was doing my cardio. Like there was a study, and I'm gonna have to go find it. That, if I remember correctly, showed that 60% or more of people who have cancer
Yep.
hold hold unforgiveness in their hearts,
100%.
and I think like half of them are hold extreme unforgiveness. They
Yeah.
can't they
Right.
can't forgive somebody who did
Right.
something.
Yep.
So there is physical manifestation
It is. It does.
of of not forgiving.
Yeah.
That's insane, bro. That's crazy. It doesn't surprise me, but
Mm-mm.
that's, bro. Like, why? And bro, you were the same way a long time ago. I was the same way a long time ago. Most of us were, but like, why? There's something about men that we always think that we can remedy the whole thing on our own, no matter what it is,
Yeah.
right?
It's our nature. It's just our
Yeah, but
nature.
how? Like, you're right. Fix things, be the solution, blah blah. But like, bro, how? I mean, how much more could you resolve if you if people could just realize that they actually can't change
Yeah.
things or
On your
resolve
No.
things on their own?
Nope.
Like,
Nope. They cannot. And I think that's the journey of a man. Um, Listen, what pride comes before destruction.
mm,
I mean, think about
right.
like from the beginning. Pride in heaven was able. Satan, Lucifer, the king angel, was able to convince a third of the angels to to be all about them, and that's
Hmm.
prideful. Pride. We're so pride fell on earth, and it infiltrated men, and we have to, again, the whole reason why I'm coming out here on this is because I want all men to just be honest with themselves in their hearts, and to be open to forgive themselves, to let things go, and to draw closer to Christ as if you've never done before, like complete surrender. Because if you hold on to what you think is justifiable, and we talked about valid, whatever that is, it's never going to go away. It's going to just continue to build and eat at you, and maybe, like you said, cause cancer or cause a heart failure or cause something physical manifestation. And
Mhm.
that's, to me, oh my gosh. And again, the joy of the Lord is your strength. So if you want to be strong, have joy. And
That's right.
joy is not a it's not a thing, it's
It's a
not a it's not
choice.
yeah. It's the Holy Spirit. And man, I'm telling you, I'm excited for I really hope somebody man, I really hope a man or men just listen to this and just it resonates with them, and they can just go, yeah, that's me. I'm that person.
Right.
I'm Brad. I'm Bobby, and I also I'm struggling with this. But Brad, what is the answer? What is the answer?
The answer is to humble yourself and realize that maybe you can't take care of this one.
Whew, that's good.
Maybe you
Mm,
can't. And
mm,
then experience the freedom
mm,
of giving it up to him.
yeah.
Because people, you can't experience that freedom unless you truly surrender it to him,
Mm,
trust that he's going to resolve it no matter
yeah.
what way it is, whether you think it's going to be your way or another way,
Hmm.
and forget about it
Yeah.
and be free.
Free indeed, baby. Free indeed.
That's that's what I think.
And what's crazy about that is, and again, this is where pride comes into play, is that it really is that simple.
Yeah,
And that's the part that, because we talk about it, right? We do. We talk about it. It's so simple.
yeah,
And then when you're going through it, you don't see it that simple.
that's right.
But I can't tell you, Brad and I cannot tell anybody who's watching this enough and listening to this enough, is it is that simple. Like for 50 something years, I've held on to anger, resentment, hurt, unforgiveness of myself. And that is a that is a recipe for destruction, eternal destruction, external destruction, and internal destruction. All three internals,
Yep.
which isn't
No,
good. And I don't want the eternal to be the end goal. That's not the end goal, because we want to have eternal life, not eternal death and hell, because hell's a real place. Like, we talk about it on our show. If you haven't listened to our show, please plug into our show, because we talk truth.
yep.
And our truth, we don't hold back. And I'm coming out today as someone who is a spiritual person, who I coach people, but I also am coming out as somebody, hey, I'm not perfect. As a matter of fact, I'm far from perfect. As a matter of fact, I've made a lot of mistakes, but because I was able to finally, after 50 something years, y'all, release myself from the bondage of not being forgiven, I can't tell you enough.
Yeah, man. There's something. There is something supernatural that happens when you are sincere
Hmm.
in asking God to take the burden from you,
Yeah.
and you mean it in your heart. Sometimes it depends on the person, depends on what God wants to do. It just sometimes it's immediate,
Yeah, for
sometimes
sure.
it's over time,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But there is something supernatural, and you will know. You will know that that supernatural is happening, and you'll know it's a good thing, and you'll know it's from the
Yeah.
Lord.
Man, you
But you got
do.
it, just like everything else, man. How many years ago you told me this, man? Like, you, it is all about the heart.
Hmm.
It always has been, and when God sees in your heart that you mean it, that
Yeah.
you really are looking to cast the burden off,
Yep.
that's when he steps in.
Yep.
The funny thing is, he knows when you don't mean it. He knows when
Mhm.
you mean it 30%, 60%,
Yep.
80%, and not
Yep.
100%.
Yep.
He knows.
Well, and I'll tell you, sometimes, sometimes you just got to break open the roof of your home. I mean, just physically open that roof up and have as many people as you can bring you down to to the feet of Jesus.
Hmm.
I mean, sometimes it takes, maybe you're just so crippled inside. Maybe you're just so like just you cannot do it on your own. I mean, think about what they did to brought this man up, this who's paralyzed. He couldn't walk. But that's not the story. The story was they were going to do whatever they could to bring this person down. And what's the first thing that Jesus said? He didn't say get up and walk. What did he
Right.
say? He says your sins are forgiven. So, oh my gosh, if that doesn't resonate with you, and again, I'm not, listen, I'm talking physical, but what I'm saying is you need to have a spiritual coming to where it's what you just said, Brad. It's not a 30%, it's 100%. And it may take your friends and maybe your pastors and all around you to come with you. Maybe it takes a village to lower you down to the feet of Jesus to finally ask for that forgiveness. And then the healing begins. Woo! For real. Like
Hmm.
that's real life stuff. Healing can never begin until you forgive yourself, until you're forgiven. And you can't be forgiven until you go to the feet of Jesus. And man, we talk it, I know it, I read it, I can speak it, but did I do it? No. It took a child by the grace of God to open my eyes which were blinded and open my heart which was hardened. But sometimes it takes that, and that's okay. Everybody's journey is different. Everybody's journey is different, but the outcome is the exact same. The
Hmm.
outcome is fall at the feet of Jesus 100% of everything and give it to him. Sorry, didn't mean to go
No,
on
it's
that
okay.
rant.
Sounds like it sounds like that's what the kid did for you, man.
Oh,
It's not,
bro,
it sounds like that that day when that happened, he's the one who lowered you.
bro,
Hmm.
100%.
That's
Which
dope,
was,
dude.
what was crazy though, it was like this, I love him. I do love him. He's a funny kid, but if you want to get on anybody's nerve, he's the one who's going to get you on your nerves. Like that's just him. He's just that way. And that kid who gets on everybody's nerves, who is just like sometimes just like that, God used him,
That's right.
right? Like think about that. Like that is it is it, and that's if you ever question if God is real or not, then he'll show you.
Mm.
He'll show you in ways that you would never thought.
The one you would least expect
Amen.
to do. You now, I could see Vivian, right? That's
Yeah.
how it plays out in the movies, right? You
Yeah.
see the
No,
little
she's
girl going to daddy and doing
100%.
all the things, and right, and saying the right things, and the heart
Yep.
melting and all that stuff. But
Yep.
the jokester,
Yep.
you didn't expect him to have that kind of moment, which made it all the more real and all the more impactful.
Yep. It is. And that's why I wanted to share this story and I wanted to share my heart. And can I still want to pray, want prayer, and I never want to be above anybody else spiritually because I'm not. I want to just share who I am, and that's why our show is why I feel it's so needed in our time today, because it's what we bring to our show is authenticity. And man, I really hope people tune in and really listen into what we bring, because it's so many different perspectives, right? And I really hope that this resonates with somebody today.
It will. I'm not concerned about that. I same thing. I have peace. I mean, I had a choice to make, right? Let's just be real about something. I had a choice to make when doing this thing. Do I chase a platform?
Mm,
Do I chase, right, a platform with the ever ongoing goal of getting more followers and getting more listeners there? Do
right,
I do I chase that? That's pretty empty to me, man.
right.
You know, it really is. Or do I come to the conclusion that, hey, you know what? If 6 people listen to the episode, then maybe those are the 6 people that God needed to hear it.
All of the shows in the years that we've done this, those six, 100%. I mean, what did the shepherd do? He left the 99
Mm,
just for
yeah,
the
man,
one,
that's right.
just for the one. It's not about the mass. It never has, and it never will be, because the mass, they're they're already they're good. It's the one.
Right.
It's the lost sheep, and
Right.
that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
I couldn't have said any better, bro.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. All right, bro. As we close out, man, we've talked about a lot. Um, as someone who's been through it, I've done it a couple of times. Probably not as much as I should. Um, but what do you want to leave people with as far as how do how do they surrender things? What's the lowest barrier to entry to being able to fully surrender something that you, if you haven't solved it by now, you probably ain't going to solve it?
Hmm.
What would you tell them to do?
I can only speak for me, because I would say this. I am someone that never wants to ask anybody or
Mm,
tell anybody what I'm going through. I
that's
never
right.
want to do that. I want to make sure that people see me in a different light. I want people to see me the way I want you to see me.
Strong, right?
Strong,
Strong, on top of things, got it together.
bro,
Yeah,
100%. Like
yeah.
that. It's Bobby Clark. It's Coach
Mm,
Bobby Clark.
CBC, baby.
Yeah.
Mm.
Boy, that's what a fool, right? Like that's like for real. Like for real. Like let's be real, guys. Like I want so you're asking me, and I'm telling you guys, don't be that don't be Coach Bobby Clark. Don't be that fool. Go ask somebody. Go be honest with somebody. Somebody you can trust, whether it's a pastor or it's a best friend or if it's your wife, whoever it is. Start there. Just be you. And then start working, internalizing in your heart to that pathway to surrender. Everybody's path's different, but here's one thing is the same. You have to be honest with yourself first. Like you cannot have this facade of who you want people to think you are.
Hmm.
Your identity is not in that. Your identity is in Christ, and true identity.
Right.
And so I would just encourage you to just be honest. That's it. Like be so brutally vulnerable and honest with who you really are and what you're going through, because people, believe it or not, people will love you even more, first of all. And if they don't, then that's okay, because it doesn't matter about the people. What matters is about your relationship with Christ, because here's the thing, if you continue to hold on to it, it will eat you up and eventually spit you back out. And this cycle, this vicious cycle, it
Hmm.
will never end. And I encourage you, whoever's going through something similar to this, listen, reach out to us, get on our podcast. We will pray with you. We will do whatever it is. If it's that one of from the 99, we will do whatever we can, because here's what I've learned. And I'm so thankful for Brad. Um, Guys, I have a friend who is the host of our show, that he's the only one that I did call. He's the only one that I talked to, um, out of all my friends, because I don't have a lot of friends anymore because I'm stubborn that way. But he's known me for 25 years, 26 years, somewhere around there. And I am so thankful for him and his wife, because he knows I can't hide him. I can't hide who I am. He knows my good, bad, and ugly. He knows. But I went to him and I shared some things that I'm going through. And sometimes we don't want to hear the truth. But if you have a good friend that will tell you the truth, even if you don't like it, then go to that person, because that's the friend you want.
Mm.
And that's the friend that I have in Brad and Gina, that was able to, like, unravel, like what's really going on. Like, tell me what's really going on, which started all of this. And I just want to thank you, Brad, for, honestly, if it wasn't for you being the person that you are a fixer. You want to fix things. It's just who you are in nature. But you come from a place of, hey, let's peel back the onions. Let's see what's really going on. Let's get to the core of this. And I'm thankful for you, because it allowed me to stay here and fight. And then ultimately, um, I'm on the road to recovery, thank God. And it takes a special person to number one, admit that, and number two, to go to a friend that you trust. And if you don't have that friend, then go to a Christian therapist. I highly recommend Christian therapy. um, but get help one way or the other, but be honest. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, if you don't mind, I'm just gonna add on to that a little bit, because that sometimes is too hard for people.
Hmm.
It's just too hard. So if you're one of those people that your pride is still getting in your way and you can't go to somebody, you don't want to go to somebody, then sit where you are in a
Mm.
quiet place and and ask God to take it from you.
Amen.
It's just you and Him. Maybe you don't even believe in Him yet,
Yeah.
but it's no one else is going to know, right? You're going to be in your quiet space. Do that if you're still too proud to go talk to somebody else or to bring it to someone else. Eventually, you're going to end up back there anyway, giving it
Oh
to Him.
boy. Fall at the feet of Jesus.
Mm. I think it's a great place to end it up, bro. So I I I appreciate the time, man. I thank you for coming. I thank you for the conversation. I hope that it was helpful to you. It's always helpful to me. I always learn something on these calls and or on these episodes, and I hope other people will take away from it as well, man.
Amen. I do too. No, it's hard to come out here and air your dirty laundry, but sometimes it's really good therapy.
Yep, it is, and you're going to be freer after this.
Oh, yeah. Amen.
All right, bro. Thanks again very much, man. I appreciate it. Love you, bro.
Love you too, bro.
Talk
Thank
to you
you,
soon.
sir.
Thank
See
you.
ya.